episode of Last Day on Earth, and ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a video that I have been working on for like the past week, getting all the preparations ready, English is hard, for, ladies and gentlemen, may I welcome you to our brand spanking new base, with the addition of season 16, with the addition of new things like the warehouse, which I actually have right over here. It has become significantly more easy to make some base renovations, not to mention the addition of level 5 walls, all of which made me be like, you know what, it is time, the people need to see it, and gosh darn it, see it, y'all will. May I welcome you to Casa de la Estrella, the House of Star V2, no longer encased in all of the freaking level 1 wooden wall honeycombs. No, it is now encased tooth and nail in steel. So I think it goes without saying, we got a little bit of a tour to go ahead and give. Not to mention, we're gonna be putting some finishing touches on the base as well, because I thought it only made sense that we do it on video and actually try to top this thing off a little bit. So without further ado, also quick little reminder, we're going live at twitch.tv/starslave, link at the top of the description, later today at 6 p.m. Eastern time, same place, every single week. Looking forward to kicking off the weekend with y'all. We're gonna have the face cam rolling and the live chat scrolling. Looking forward to seeing y'all there and having an awesome kickoff to the weekend. May I welcome you to the entrance of our base. As you can see, we have built 2 turrets over here. So these 2 turrets, their purpose is kind of to protect the courtyard here. That's right, baby, we built a courtyard. I'll go over that a little bit more in a second. But yeah, so there's pretty much like just a few spaces over here that you can kind of get past the turrets. But long story short, you're probably gonna get shot at by the turrets. So yeah, beware. Disclaimer, if you're watching this video trying to figure out where all the best stuff in my base is, you will definitely not figure that out in this video. Absolutely no way. No, so if you're a raider, you should look away. Look away. There won't be it's not the video for you. Definitely not. No, look away. So obviously we got to go ahead and actually bring these up to par, at least to stone walls. Ultimately, I do want to get these puppies up to steel, but steel walls are also a little bit on the expansive side because they require a lot of steel. But yeah, these are going to be kind of like the turrets that serve as the entryway into the courtyard. The courtyard is over here, and this is where we are going to be decking out a lot of things, including a reward from the last week of season 16. I've been looking forward to planting this puppy, and it's going to get planted right over there, right behind our freaking statue, which by the way is so freaking expensive to craft with all the lead and stuff that you need. But yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a courtyard. I think we're going to be planting some more trees and ideally some bushes as well over here from the blossom pack. So we got some fun stuff to look forward to on that side of things. But yes, this is where the courtyard is going to be coming into bloom. Now, if y'all see over here, may I introduce to you the garage, which we have conveniently lined with all of our engines and generators up the side, just because, I don't know, kind of makes sense. These are things that I feel like you could maybe hold in a garage, and it also looks kind of nice lining it here along the side. You can still access the entirety of the garage, all the different stations, access the chopper, so it does fit really nicely. Over here, this room, ideally, I do want to get this room up to steel as well, but until then, yeah, it's just gonna be stone. But hopefully we can get this up to steel actually today. That'd be pretty ideal. But then this is pretty much just kind of like an extension of the garage, and the chests inside of here are pretty much very specific or definitely tailored to stuff that is related to the garage. That's another thing I really tried to do in this base redesign and base revamp, as well as kind of like, you know, make like dedicated rooms that kind of have a purpose and a theme. So my base is more organized than ever before. I actually cannot believe how organized this thing is at the moment. But yeah, so this chest over here, we are going to be rocking just gas and a few the like repair kits over here to repair and fuel our chopper. And then over here we have a lot of the paints and stuff which we can use to paint the chopper, and also some of these paint skins that I've already unlocked, but I don't just feel like throwing these things away for no reason because they're kind of limited edition in that sense. But yeah, so we're storing them here for now, and also we can use the paint to color like chests and stuff should we choose, so that's another thing. But yeah, this is kind of like an extension of the garage, a little like workshop, a little shed, I suppose you could consider. And then, of course, we got this thing over here, which I do still need to organize a little bit. I still have some, whatchamacallit, goodies up inside of here from the last time we did, like, some chest cleaning and stuff, but it made a lot of sense to have this very close to the garage because whenever there's something that we want to clean, it's going to be coming from the back of our chopper, so having the acid bath right next to the garage, which holds our chopper, is super freaking convenient. So already love the placement of that, and I think it's going to look really cool once we get these walls up to steel as well. But now it's time for us to enter into the inner sanctum and enter into the room that will be composed entirely of ash. This is the first room that we are focusing on bringing up into level of 5. So far, we got a few walls over here, plenty of floors decked out. We actually have all the floors that we need to make all the exterior walls a level 5. So now it's just a matter of us, actually getting our hands on some steel plates. I have been crafting up a lot of bricks too, so I've been pretty busy on that side of things. So hopefully we'll actually be able to upgrade quite a few of these walls as well. That's going to depend on some steel, which I do have something lined up for, ladies and gentlemen. More on that in a little bit though. Without further ado, let's go over what this room is. This is kind of just like a massive storage room, and it's going to, yeah, just gonna store a bunch of stuff. We also do have this little corner. I just had a ton of plants, so I just kind of like that you're gonna see plants scattered throughout the base because I just had a ton of them, and they add some nice color to the base, you know? But this little corner over here is kind of like our wood processing corner. As you can see, I got some wood over here and various woods that can be processed. As you can see over here, I got planks and all that stuff, so it just kind of makes sense to kind of have these things in close vicinity. Then these 3 chests on the bottom are all like electronic parts and all that stuff, and just kind of like miscellaneous items, you know, that like don't have like a direct use, but a lot of them can be scrapped and stuff, and a few other things like that. So that is definitely a pretty nifty. Over here we just pretty much have like all the like hides and leathers and like animal skins and stuff like that, because I don't know, it kind of makes sense. They kind of like all fit the theme. I guess like rope and stuff too, just like anything that's like cloth slash rope based, I guess. And then of course we also have fur, which kind of does also fit that theme. So that's just like a nice little set of 3 over here. Now these 2 rows are gonna have some good stuff. Okay, so the best stuff is gonna be up against the wall. That's kind of like the tier 1 stuff. The tiers 2 stuff is gonna be in this row. So if you look over here, boom, as close to the garage as possible, we just have a bunch, and I mean a bunch of various vehicle parts. The purpose of this chest is pretty much things that don't stack, as you can see, because nothing here stacks. I know, big brain plays, 500 IQ plays from Star. The neighboring chest has a lot of stackables that also do relate largely in part to kind of like vehicle upgrades and kind of vehicle stuff. I mean, we got engine parts, we got freaking air filters, car batteries, some more of the gas cylinders, just because I have so many of these things, so it kind of spilled over into the next chest. We got some pumps, we got the ATV transmissions, and a ton of wrenches to boot. In the 3rd chest over here, we got some goodies, baby. You can see a bunch of other various kind of like more refined parts and stuff like that. You also got some catalysts, some energy cells, we got some cogs down here at the bottom, and a rubber to boot. So just a lot of like very advanced slash refined materials as well. So yeah, the stuff leaning up against the wall is truly where the goodies are gonna be. Here we got, of course, electronic circuits, heat sensors, and turret parts. Pretty much just a lot of stuff that would go into building a turret, and just kind of like electrical components and advanced components like that. And then over here we just got plastics and glues, because I needed a chest dedicated to these guys because I had so many plastics and glues. But then we got the 2nd row of stuff over here where things get like a little bit more basic, but still filled with a lot of good things. Over here we just pretty much have like a bunch of kind of like raw resources and metals and stuff. I also have like the nails and the duct tapes in here, just because nails and duct tape oftentimes go together, especially when I'm crafting like hatchets and stuff. So yeah, this is gonna be like a scrap metal slash like metal type of chest. But you might be like, Star, where are the iron ingots then? Oh, no worries, no worries. We'll get around to the iron ingots a little bit later. We got an awesome place to store those that freed up so much inventory room. And that's another thing y'all are gonna be seeing throughout this video, the pure amount of inventory room we finally have access to. Like, for real, with our old base, man, inventory room was not the easiest thing to come across, but especially with the addition of our warehouse, which is up there, it just helped us store a ton of things and open up a ton of inventory room, which made the space redesign a whole lot nicer as well. And hopefully we keep on getting items like the warehouse let us stack very specific things to very high numbers, because it makes it a lot easier to build the base, baby, and it looks a lot cooler. This chest over here, pretty self-explanatory. We just got some more of these like kind of like tier 2 kind of parts, if that's the way I think of these, like rubber parts and transistors and stuff like that. Over here we got ball bearings, pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory over here. A ton of wires. I'm probably gonna have to go in at some point, upgrade this to have a higher capacity, but right now I'm kind of holding on to ash planks and steel planks. We need those to upgrade our walls, so probably not gonna be upgrading the chest. So for now, those wires kind of like spill over into this chest. This is like a little bit of a spillover chest, kind of like miscellaneous things. We got some like tools and stuff from whatchamacall this season as well. We got some nuts, we got some of those wires spilling over from the other chest, some trucks and saw blades spilling over from another chest, ball bearings, empty cooler bag, and this machete that honestly I should probably move out of here, but I'll leave it there for now. So there y'all have this room in a nutshell. So why don't y'all go ahead and follow me to the kitchen? Of course, we gotta have the beautiful little plant over here making things beautiful. But yes, this, ladies and gentlemen, is, I love what we managed to do at this place. You can also see out here, we got the little barbecue, we got the radio. All that stuff going on, making for an awesome vibe. But let's focus on inside of the kitchen. Had to have the dining room table, only makes sense. And then all of the kind of like very special food slash related items. Over here, we got the little bar, which holds all of our beverages. Over here, we have the fridge, which holds a lot of our foods. And then, of course, the stove over here, where we can kind of cook up various recipes and stuff like that to make some pretty awesome things. Over here in the corner, we kind of have our other stuff that's kind of like food related, but doesn't really stack inside of like the fridge or something like that well. So like a ton of our fish, whatchamacall, you can stack fish, but like they have like so many different rarities and stuff. It doesn't make good usage of the fact this can stack up to like 300, you know, because each fish of a different rarity is in a different stack. But yeah, like we got some vitamins here. We got the fishing rod for fishing, should we choose various fishes. I don't really have anywhere good to put alcohol, so alcohol is kind of like food themed, so I kind of put it into this chest too. We got spices, we got corn seeds, which by the way, I'm gonna go ahead and need some fish bait, and then also dog food and stuff like that, leftover cans, leftover empty bottles. The dog food is nice because our dog crate is literally right by this chest too. We also have over here in the corner the hydroponic system, which is capable of growing some of those spices that y'all saw into that other chest. And then because I don't have a better place to put these at the moment, I might end up moving these two things that y'all are gonna see what I'm talking about a little bit later. I might move these two things to the bedroom eventually. Star, there's a bedroom. Oh yeah, baby, just you wait. The base keeps getting better. But yeah, this is just kind of like, I don't know. It has like the book icon over here on the chest. And a lot of these things are kind of like, I don't know, like paper and like miscellaneous. Like some of them are like books and stuff like that and blueprints. So I think I do want to actually kind of add these to my bedroom eventually as kind of like a library. But first, I will need to make sure my bedroom has at least the steel walls because, ladies and gentlemen, a big thing about this base redesign, I want the base to be beautiful, baby. I'm taking one for the team. We're going ham, egg, and cheese on upgrading the walls, so we do not need the level 1 walls surrounding it. But if y'all are going out on raids and worried about revenge raids, I'm still telling you, the best thing you could possibly do is just surround your base in level 1 walls because it just absolutely confuses the heck out of raiders when they come to revenge raid you. But yeah, so these are kind of like placeholders for now with these two kind of like bookshelves slash book item chests over here. But yeah, there y'all have an overview of the kitchen, and right outside of the kitchen, we got a little patio type area with some extended cooking. We of course have the grill over here should we choose to put that thing to use. We also got these campfires over here, which makes sense because they're food related, even though I pretty much just end up using them mostly for cooking a lot of charcoal lately because we really do need charcoal for what's going on in another room as well, and also for, you know, continuing to upgrade our base. Like I've said, man, I have been busy over the past few days. Over here, of course, we do have an awesome little crop area where we are growing our various crops. Perfect place to put the scarecrow decoration from many seasons ago. And also, I guess like this thing, which is kind of like a scarecrow. Technically, you can light the witch's head and it keeps the horde away. But it also makes for a pretty nice scarecrow. So I got the kind of like scarecrow brother and sister wombo combo over here, protecting all of our crops from all the dangers that it might encompass. Why don't we go out and actually collect some of that corn because we can stack it inside of the fridge, which is super freaking handy dandy. Also, you might be like, Star, what is this stuff in your inventory? Why do you have all these hatchets and all these things? Because what better way to celebrate our base being massively upgraded than by going and breaking into someone else's base? That's right, baby. Raiding's back on the menu. We're gonna be getting back into some of those shenanigans literally in not too long. But first, we go through the rest of this place and some more upgrades to go ahead and knock out too. But anyways, over here by the patio, we also have this kind of like little torch decoration. I don't know, it adds some nice lighting. It's kind of like an apocalyptic tiki torch in a way, perfect for the backyard. let's not forget the warehouse, which is the perfect store for so many items. They used to just clog up so many of my chests, but now things like iron, stone, brick, even ash planks, oak planks, aluminum plates, all that jazz can be stored in there, making it super handy dandy. And of course, had to have it close to the kitchen. Makes sense to have it kind of like by this area. We got easy access over here to this thing to go ahead and fill up our water. And I spent like 15 titanium on this thing, so you're darn tootin' right I'm gonna be putting this thing to use. Filling up all of our empty water bottles on demand. Super handy, by the way, but still, I cannot believe, like, if y'all do not remember when I crafted this thing, can we just recap how expensive this darn tootin' thing is? Where are you? Where are you, you freaking fountain, huh? You cursed thing that spent me 15 titanium and 10 ash planks. I don't think it's worth it, but at that point, I didn't have anything else to use titanium on. Now I wish I didn't, kind of, sort of, because we need titanium to upgrade the floors from the steel and to the ash. You know what I mean? Over here, we also got the dog area, which is, I mean, it makes sense. We want to have it by the backyard. We want to have it kind of like close to home and right by the patio where people are going to be out and chilling. Makes perfect sense. And then over here, this is just kind of like leftover stuff that I still kind of want to find a place to put stuff into. Also, the nifty thing, a new update did drop, and part of that update is actually the ability, in addition to like a few bug fixes and stuff like that, you can actually now pick up like decorations and stuff. So if I want to, boop, I can actually go ahead and pick up some of these decorations after they're placed, which makes it kind of handy because we don't necessarily need them kind of like clogging this area, but yeah, that is one thing that you are capable of doing. But I think what I'll end up doing, especially with these workbenches, is kind of like build out one more room just for kind of like miscellaneous workbenches and stuff like that. We also got one fireplace. I got a perfect place for the other fireplace. I might keep this basketball hoop by the backyard too. I think it is pretty nice to have a little, you know, recreational activity ready and ring to go. But yeah, that's just kind of like a quick explanation for this area. This is just kind of like leftover stuff that we still kind of want to try and find a good home for, if that makes sense. But that is on the outskirts of the base because the base, baby, is beautiful. Let's move on to the next room. May I welcome you to the processing plant, the processing room. This thing is ready to process all sorts of metals, and that's exactly what it's been doing. Speaking of which, I gotta go ahead and, I gotta grab some of that charcoal, which I do have over in this chest over here, because this chest is kind of, I'll explain kind of like the chests and the way that they are organized as well. But yeah, as you can see, we do have kind of like all of our furnaces in here for smelting any sorts of metals. We got the workbenches over here for processing any sort of metals. We also have these three workbenches here, the recycler for recycling things, which does definitely get us some pretty nice stuff. Love to see that. We got the pressing machine over here, and we also have the chemistry station. So a very industrial style room going on over here. Now let's explain the chests and kind of the way that they work. This chest over here is kind of more reserved for raw materials. This is where I kind of put some of the like more raw ores, you know, like sand, like things like that, things that haven't really been refined but do need to be refined. Over here we put things that are a little bit more refined. You know, they could be refined more, for example, on like the workbench and stuff like that, but you know, like these steel bars I could turn into steel plates. But yeah, long story short, this is kind of like where some more of the finished type products are lying. So very nifty, if you ask me. And oh, I will go ahead and we also, whatchamacall, I do store some stuff in here that I do like to recycle, because the recycler is literally right across the way, and we're able to keep that thing real busy. And then over here we just have kind of a few chests dedicated to aluminum, because I still have way too much aluminum. I'm working on slowly, this chest is kind of like all aluminum wire, but I am working on moving these aluminum wire over to this chest. But that involves me turning a lot of these aluminum bars into aluminum plates, which is kind of what I've been doing lately, is just kind of turning the aluminum bars into aluminum plates so we can have a little bit more room. And also because we can actually store aluminum plates over inside of inside of the warehouse over here. So that'll be really nice for storage reasons as well. But yeah, long story short, there y'all have a little bit of an explanation of what is going on over here. And I guess I'll just give you guys like a real quick example of what I'm doing. So y'all see, I usually grab like two stacks of aluminum bars out of there, and then I just go ahead and grab pretty much 2 stacks of aluminum wire, and I can toss most of those aluminum wire into here, and just kind of like slowly, I'm just bringing stuff from this chest over to the other chest, and then I'm bringing the aluminum bars over here and turning those into aluminum plates, as I was saying. Now, may I welcome you, lads and lassies, to the armory. This is an awesome, awesome, awesome place, and it seems pretty self-explanatory. This is where we have our weapons. I still gotta, by the way, before we go raiding, 100% need to make this a steel wall. At the very least, This is what I've been waiting for before we get back on the raiding life. I want to make sure all of our chests are protected for now, because in the future, especially with the addition of ash walls, there's a very real possibility that there's a raiding update on the horizon, and that could involve steel walls becoming breakable. But at the moment, they're not yet breakable, so I don't have to worry about that, but I can make this awesome room that has a lot of our valuable things stored inside of steel. In hindsight, I maybe should have started turning this thing into a freaking ash room, but you know what? So be it. For now, it's going to be level 4 walls, but eventually I think this will be the next wall that we do turn, or this next room that we do turn to level 5. Now, let's go over some of the decorations really quickly over here on this side of the room. Obviously, we got this incredible mannequin, which is holding on to some armor and just looking awesome and posing and all that jazz. Around the mannequin, we got our 2 holograms over here that we have got. I feel like it makes sense. We got like a mannequin over here in the middle, which is like a person. We got a hologram of a person on each of his sides. It's nice and symmetrical, and it does fit really nicely in front of our 3 racks of guns too. Over here, we got our rack of armor-piercing weaponry, man. We got the resonator, the ultimatum, the protector, and the equalizer ready and rearing to go. This is a sick shelf, pretty much dedicated to destroying armored enemies, which so far we have only encountered in laboratory hard mode, but who knows where more of those may or may not appear. Over here, we have some of our heavier duty weapons. We got the minigun, we got the freaking grenade launcher, and we also have the dissolver. The only dissolver I've ever managed to find so far. I think you can only get like one of these or something, which makes it a very unique weapon and honestly an awesome decoration. It's actually a throwback to the season where the laboratory was first kind of like, you know, being like talked about and stuff, because the outbreak, we saw freaking one of the Genesis members, or like one of the people from the port, literally using that thing, and it's kind of like a flamethrower, man. It's kind of freaking sick. I mean, why don't we go ahead? Let's do a quick little demonstration for the people. Look at the way this thing fires, man. It has a freaking area of effect attack. Look at that. That is so unique for a weapon. Unfortunately, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but you know what? Potato, potato. Onwards we go. And then, of course, over here, we have a rack dedicated to some of the cooler melee weapons that we do have. Had to give the melee weapons a little bit of love, and we can see we got the scythe, which can be acquired from the farm, the slasher, which we got from some some season passes in the past, and also I think we got it as a reward from like some seasonal events too in the past. We got the Guandao from the Chinese New Year event, and then of course the guitar, because it's a weapon, and I don't know, man, it fits perfectly. It's an awesome thing to show off. Then follow me over here, and inside of the corner of the armory, it only makes sense that we have the weapon workbench, both to modify guns and to actually upgrade them. And you know, if we do want to get like new modifications unlocked and stuff, and that fits in perfectly with what's in this chest right next to this area where you would do these upgrades. This chest is where we are holding a lot of valuable things. This chest contains carbon composites, I guess explosive material, because like technically we use those in crafting like weapons and stuff. This is just kind of like a chest dedicated to items that are like very specific to weapons crafting, whether it be like attachments and stuff or explosives. But yeah, so we got the lenses, we got the freaking carbon composites, explosive material, plenty of gun oil, we got springs, we got high-tech components, plenty of weapon parts, and even some gunpowder over there at the bottom to boot. A lot of those things, again, we could go ahead and utilize here for various things that we might want to unlock. So super handy to have that right there. Probably a chest that I will want to go ahead and increase the capacity of, because yeah, I imagine, I mean, it's almost already full, so I definitely do want some more capacity over there. And then over here we got kind of a huge medical chest and explosive. Get out of here, Wolf. I'll get around to you in a second. Be quiet, dude. Yeah, this is a huge medical chest over here. Y'all can see we got like a ton of our first aid kits, also a ton of our bandages. The big bones are just kind of chilling here because we can also use these for like creating weapon attachments and stuff. I may end up moving these to like my trophy chest, slash like the chest that was in the kitchen that had like all the blueprints and stuff and like the like valuable tickets and all that. I might end up moving this there. Still kind of undecided, but for now, this is where the big bones are, because technically they are kind of like something that we can utilize for certain like bone upgrades, which are pretty freaking handy, by the way. I already have a few of them, especially specifically on my machete, one of my favorites. But then we also have a ton of our explosives available here. We got grenades, we got landmines, and besides that though, pretty much entirely medical supplies. We got anti-rad pills, we got freaking anti-rad, first aid kits, bandages, and inhalers. So yeah, this is your one-stop shop for anything medical you might need, except for the revitalizers, because those do not stack, and this is a fully upgraded chest, so everything in here has to stack to the max if we want to get the most bang for our buck. So there you'll have kind of like the sideshow for this room. Now let's start going over the main show. We got the guns, we got the melee weapons, and we got the armor. Follow me over here to chest number 1, and this chest is filled with pretty much 2 weapons that I just have a ton of. Magnums, or not magnums, Colt Pythons, technically a magnum, and I think, right? And flare guns as well, to kind of like unique-ish weapons that, I don't know, didn't really fit well in other chests, and I also just have like a lot of these things, so that's literally just a chest dedicated to those two things. Follow me over here, and we got the big guns, baby. You can see we got mini guns and all that jazz chilling up in here, and then at the bottom a few just kind of like loosey guns. Yeah, and then over here, follow me. This chest is also going to be very nice. So this is where we got all of the Milcor Granata launchers and also FN Scars. We got some armor-piercing weapons stored into here, too. Honestly, a lot of armor-piercing weapons and stuff. Yeah, and also where the reanimators are for now, in addition to a few other weapons here and there. Also, just for the sake of it, because honestly, that's the one thing I do kind of want to get, like, more weapons chests, because I'm kind of, like, just storing some of my weapons now at, like, Bunker Alpha and Bunker Bravo up in the lobbies and also at, whatchamacallit, at the port. Just because, like, I don't necessarily have all the room at base to actually store these things, because that's the thing, man. Weapons do not stack, which is super annoying. But honestly, dude, with all these new types of things we're getting, like, for example, the what is this thing, like, you know, for example, like the fridge, I really hope we get some kind of like special storable thing that specifically stores weapons and just has a ton of room and only weapons can go inside of it. Something like a barracks or like an armory item that we can put down. That would A, look sick, B, fit this room perfectly, and C, open up some inventory room, because some of these like things that do not stack, especially weapons, are definitely a bit on the annoying side. But yes, we are armed to the teeth, ready to go, and ready to freaking get back at hard mode as well, because that's what we stockpiling for, baby. Hopefully to get that awesome perk that disables recoil. Oh, I'm still so excited to get that, man. Best lab perk by far, I think. And then over here, we got some of our kind of like more janky weapons. We got the Winchesters and the Zip guns. They definitely do not get as much love from me, but still some cool weapons. Obviously, don't just want to throw them out, because we have actually built some freaking modded Winchesters and stuff that are pretty handy. And I mean, there's still a ranged weapon, man. Ranged weapons are still good if you're trying to keep your distance from heavy-hitting, slow zombies like the Frenzy Giant, for example. But now if you'll follow me, may I welcome you, may I introduce you to the melee weapon section of our base here. Ladies and gentlemen, it goes without saying, we got some road signs. We got, I mean, largely this is just kind of like a chest dedicated to things that you can't modify. So we got like crowbars, we got paddles, we got golf clubs, road signs, just kind of things that you can't really modify. That's the purpose of this chest. Over here, we got things that you can modify. We got the saw blade mace, the skull crusher, metal pipes, all sorts of things, all of which can be modifiable. Follow me over here. This one is a little bit of both. This is just mainly like my sword chest. We got the freaking katana and then also the machete. I know it's not technically a sword, but it's very similar. They do kind of similar damage, especially once we do modify them. And I don't know, they're definitely like the machete and the katana are very close, very similar. So I do have kind of like a combined chest for them, because it just kind of makes sense in my head. And then over here, we got the tool chest, baby. We got all sorts of tools you might need for anything that's going on. We got hammers, we got shovels, we got pickaxes, we got starvation, we got hatchets, the whole shebang, baby. We're ready to go. And speaking of ready to go, I'm ready to go and get some food, which I can conveniently get. And I love the fact that I can say this by just going to the kitchen really quickly. Oh, thank you very kindly, kitchen. I appreciate it. And then we'll just go ahead and put some of those Lucy's over here. And oh, hold up, I forgot to freaking whatchamacallit, I forgot to plant the corn, didn't I? How could I? Such a fatal mistake. There you go. Oh, hello, Grey Wolf. How you doing, baby? Die. Love to see that. But yeah, and then whatchamacallit, we still got the armor chest to go over on the lickety split, and then onwards to we still got a few more rooms to go. Over here, well, this is kind of like a bit of a hybrid. This is kind of like, it's got a lot of our like very special / very unique armor that, I mean, y'all can see. Raiders masks, tank tops, Chinese New Year armor, the Warriors armor, snorkel mask, the freaking medical face mask from like a year and a half ago at this point, motorcycle boots, just very unique things that are not normally found in gameplay. They're usually found through some sort of special means or just freaking like slashers and sides, because they're sick and they kind of deserve to have like a, this is just a very special thing chest. It's got some melee weapons, but it's also got a ton of armor, so it's got a bit of a dual purpose, but the rest of these chests, single purpose, baby. Over here, goes without saying, man, protective equipment. We got gas masks and we got all sorts of basic hazmat armor, because the better hazmat armor is got a little chest over here. This is the powerful armor that we can get through the game. We got Seaburn combat armor, we got Kevlar, we got freaking rubber boots too, which is specifically useful for like the swamp and stuff like that. And of course, we got some of our chests and whatnot stored inside of here too. But yeah, this is kind of like the elite of the elite chest, where we got like some of our absolute best armor, and then kind of like everything else kind of goes over here. We got some SWAT armors, we got some military armors, we got some reinforced armors over here. So that's kind of like the logic there. But y'all can see this is more organized than the Wild Star has ever been, and it's an awesome feeling. Then over here, may I introduce you to the trophy hall, a little bit of a hallway that leads to another room, but for now, it's just kind of where we place various of our trophies. In the middle, we got the freaking, whatchamacallit, we got the little crater decoration of the crater city with a little choo-choo train going around. We got a few of our snow globes over here on the side. Over here, we got a specimen on each side, actually. Here we have a laboratory specimen, and then here we have an infected specimen back from, like, what was it, like season 1 or season 2? Super long ago. Some awesome decorations, and then kind of like, whatchamacallit. We got a few Halloween decorations, as you can see. One in this corner, and then one over here on opposite sides of that hall. Trying to make it a little bit symmetrical in a sense, and then also the blind one chilling over here in front of our door, because this, ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce and welcome you to my bedroom. This is my room, baby, and it's got some nice stuff. Plenty of plants just kind of scattered throughout, you know, color the place up a little bit. We got the radio next to the radioception, and of course the little bed over there. Over here we got, again, the radio, just because, I don't know, I like having it in my room. I like to think that I'm a music connoisseur over here in the apocalypse. So we got both of our radios ready to go, one decorative and one functional. We got a safe over here, which so far, this may change in the future. But for now, I just gotta use this to store, common logs. So I can just go ahead and light this thing up. And also because this is just kind of like a nice way, since I have like a good little supply of wood, to go ahead, and wood's not that hard to get. It's just like an additional kind of thing I can have lit in addition to the campfires that does produce charcoal. It's not super efficient. I only end up getting like a few charcoal out of it, but still, it's pretty nice. I like it. And then we also got the lamp over here, but yeah, and we got the chair to, of course, watch the fireplace, listen to some music. Very cool little hangout spot. And then I love this place, and I think y'all are gonna love it too. Welcome to my bathroom, baby. That's right. For some reason, I have a workout area in my bathroom, probably because the shower is right here, so we can shower super easy peasy. We got the welcome mat. I like to think of that as a bath mat, and also we just spawn in, so whenever we spawn in, we can take a shower, we can change our clothes, and everything is super easy peasy. So yeah, if we wanted to, we could shower. Over here, we can change out all of our clothes. Very convenient, and I really like the way that does work out, and I think it's about time. Travis, what do you think of the new place?
Never.
All right, I'm gonna translate. That's Travis's way of saying it's freaking incredible. Thank you, Travis. I appreciate the words of encouragement. And then also over here, we got the mirror, because I don't know, it makes sense to have the mirror by the wardrobe. Yeah, we got that going. If we want to, we can change how we look and all that jazz. And then, of course, my favorite, the outhouse. We moved it a little bit, and now it is my bathroom. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, we have a bathroom. In my bathroom, we can actually use the toilet inside of our bathroom. I've never been more excited to have a bathroom in my life. They might be like, Star, why do you have these turrets? Listen, if I am going to the bathroom, I've got to make sure that we are well protected. So those turrets over there are ready to go and protect us. Of course, I gotta actually turn the darn tune things on, but yeah. And also, it's kind of protecting my bedroom too, because the bathroom is an extension of my bedroom. And also, it just kind of works out nicely, because in order to kind of like encase the bathroom here, because this has to go on the ground, it kind of works out nicely, because I had to kind of like put these 2 floor tiles here anyway to build kind of like the encasing around the bathroom. And I also had 2 turrets that I had to put somewhere, so I'm like, honestly, it makes sense. So, freaking magnificent over there. And then pretty much very close to the raiders, so we can talk to them, access the radio and all that jazz. Super easy peasy. And I think I'm gonna be growing like a lot of trees around here too, just kind of like making this like a nice like forested area. Give me some cover over here from being able to use the bathroom and stuff too. Can't forget about that. Woo! Dying of thirst. That's not good. Problem solved. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. But yeah, and then I still got this one engine I gotta move over. I'll move that over eventually, because right now I'm too busy basking, baby. And also we got the ATV right by our bedroom, which also does make sense. So I don't know. We definitely built a lot of things here that I do think make a lot of sense, and I can't wait to deck out this courtyard. I can't wait for the Sakura tree to grow. Another thing that I'm really excited to get that we're going to be working towards, I want to get the decorative pond, and I want to put this thing in front of the statue. I think that would look really cool. So yeah, I might move some of these like Easter decorations and stuff around. I don't know, still gonna figure out exactly the best way to decorate things, but there y'all have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Tour de Star. And we still got some upgrades to make, baby. And what better way than by popping open some of the season repairs pack, the new pack that was dropped, I think, a week ago, that literally has everything I could possibly need. So for the people, we're doing an opening, showing off everything that there can be contained, showing y'all off kind of roughly what to expect, obviously. Give or take, you know, the odds. I mean, there's always like an element of luck in here, especially when it comes to the steel plates, which hopefully we can get multiple times. But we're just going to be showing off how things go for us and crossing our fingers that hopefully they go well, because that means that there's going to be some some more base upgrades coming. So without further ado, let's get to opening. Wish me luck, ladies and gentlemen, and please especially wish me luck on getting my hands on some of those freaking steel plates. That would be incredible. The aluminum plates are okay. The iron plates are okay, but those steel plates, man, I might cry tears of joy if we walk out of here with multiple steel plates. So please, baby, big money, no whammy, big money, no whammy, big money, no whammy. Give me a little bit of luck and y'all can help out. Hopefully by extending your luck my way, by giving me the power of a YouTuber. Star, how does a YouTuber gain power? By hitting that like button, baby. Let me know what y'all think in that comment section down below of the base. I would absolutely love to hear that. And of course, if y'all do like the base, don't forget to hit that like button. Not to mention, I need the power of the like button, because that will give me some luck in these season repairs, because every time we get the steel plates, I got the bricks, man. I just need some steel plates. So if we could get the steel plate multiple times, there are going to be multiple level 5 walls getting built up. But if not, I'm gonna be a little bit heartbroken, man, because so far, oof, with this, we are halfway over with the opening and still not a single steel plate coming our way, dude. This is actually starting to get like a little bit concerning, man. Come on, wish me luck, baby. I need this, baby. I need it. I feel like SpongeBob in that one episode in freaking Sandy's Dome, man. Like, come on. What do I need to do to get my hands on this steel plate, baby? Is this so much to ask? A little bit of the steel? Apparently so, because I am not getting any of the steel, and we now have 7 boxes left to go, dude. Oh, we mama. I am going to be heartbroken if we do not get a single steel plate out of this. That would be gut-wrenching for— oh. No, say it ain't so. I was so ready to upgrade some more freaking of our steel walls, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. Bruh! Bruh! You cannot be serious right now. Out of these 24, I don't get a single of the extremely rares. I've only gotten 2 very rares. Brother. Brother. What? What are the odds, dude? I've been bamboozled, led astray, kerfuffled. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is heartbreaking because I literally needed at least to get 1 steel, and I was banking on having somewhat of a little bit of luck. Apparently, that was wrong of me to assume. Star, why did you need that luck? Because before we get back to our raiding lifestyle, I literally need to make these 4 things steel. Otherwise, a raider will be like, oh, look at that, a stone wall. Break through it and steal so many of my weapons. So I am actually in shock. I really thought that would go better. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am sorry to say, but it looks like the madman raidaholic Star may need to await a little bit. I need to get to processing a little bit more steel because I still need about, what is this, like 35? I still need about 70 steel plates before we can safely get back to raiding, because I need this thing to be encompassed, because there's a lot of variable stuff in that room, man. I cannot be letting the raiders get up inside of there. But there y'all do have a look of the base, of course, a beginning of the look of how this room's gonna look in brick, which I think is gonna look so sick. I love the little light over here too that literally turns on when it's nighttime. That's another awesome thing. But okie dokie, there's a few more upgrades that we can make that I was looking forward to doing, so I'm gonna go ahead and do exactly that. Finish turning our bathroom over here in our kind of like bedroom into a bunch of stone. Let's just finish up whatchamacall, some of our little turrets over here as well, and making these things stone. Eventually I am looking to turn these things into— oh, I gotta grab a little bit more planks. So yeah, definitely looking forward to turning these things into steel eventually, but right now stone will have to do because steel has got its priorities. And also you might be like, Star, but this room is stone. Well, honestly, once we were to go to raiding, I would have probably just like temporarily relocated these chests into kind of various steel rooms that have plants inside of them, because we definitely have some wiggle room to store these chests safely until we can actually turn this over here into a steel room. But yeah, this is kind of like priority number 2 for steel. This is these little section here is priority number 1 by far and away, dude. That's priority number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all the way up to 100. And then priority number 101 is this, and then probably the turrets eventually, or the bedroom first, so I can actually move some more chests over there. I don't know, but long story short, ay caramba, bro, that is freaking gut-wrenching if you ask me, but that's just the life of last day on Earth, baby. We live in the apocalypse, and living in the apocalypse is not always easy, unfortunately to say. But there you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I do have it. The long-awaited tour of our brand spanking new base. Obviously, we're going to continue upgrading it But y'all see the layout of the base. The layout ain't gonna be changing. If anything, we're just gonna be adding things here and there as we do get them, including, like, especially some ash wall upgrades, man. I'm so looking forward to those because we have all the freaking floors figured out. Just need the steel plates for these walls. So, yeah, those steel plates are gut-wrenching, dude. But with that said, with that done, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is gonna go ahead and start bringing an end to this episode of Last Day on Earth at our incredible new home that all of our shenanigans are now going to be based out of, which is just such an exciting thing to be saying, and it's just gonna keep on getting cooler too. But with that said, with that done, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's gonna go ahead and start bringing an end to this episode of Last Day on Earth. Thank you guys a whole ton for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one. See ya.